my fireball.
Fireball! That's what we're talking about today. Jason just found me in a dumpster. Why? Because of Fireball. Now, this drink is insanely popular in the US. It went from being kind of obscure to being the #1 selling liqueur in the United States, surpassing Jägermeister. It's crazy. What does it taste like? Well, it tastes like mistakes. It tastes like hangovers. At least that's what I can remember. I haven't had it in years. It's a wee bit different than the single malts that I'm used to, so let's try it. Norway did a full recall on it and stopped selling it. And they said, oh, well, it's a recipe compliance issue, so it'll be fine, we'll just fix the recipe. Oh. So what is Fireball? Well, actually, it's made up of a Canadian whiskey. That's why they spell it W-H-I-S-K-Y without an E. Even though it's now an American product. It actually all got started in Canada when a bartender came back from an Arctic chill and wanted to warm up. So it was sold by Seagram's, which was actually one of the biggest alcohol companies in the world, based out of Montreal, where I'm from. But eventually it was sold off to the Sazerac company, which was a good move because they weren't really selling a lot of it. It was branded as Dr. McGillicuddy's Fireball whiskey. Once they got rid of that and started doing some actual marketing, it really took off, and that's why it's so popular today. But it almost wasn't that way. Now, Sazerac is actually the second largest alcohol company in the United States. It's family owned by William Goldring and his family. And they're billionaires. They're out of New Orleans. And they're actually the company that makes this stuff. And they're the ones that are behind the brilliant marketing, which I will talk about later, that makes Fireball what it is today.
Fireball!
Controversy. There was some controversy surrounding this, and it's not just because of the overconsumption that people seem to have when they have this beverage. Oh, that doesn't make sense, does it? Controversy. Now, Fireball actually had some controversy surrounding it, and it wasn't just because of what it does to you. It's more about the ingredients. In 2014, Finland and Sweden actually stopped selling it. And then Norway, which wasn't part of the EU, also joined in, all because it had something called propylene glycol in it. Now, a lot of alcohols have this, but they were apparently over the EU limit. Now, they said, oh, well, it's just a simple recipe fix. We'll just do a little fine tuning. But thank goodness, as of 2018, they no longer add any of that to their product. Maybe that should have been done all along. But either way, it's fixed now. The only problem now is not drinking too much and waking up beside a dumpster. They got me. They got me to buy this big bottle. Because they're out of small bottles. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the marketing behind this. Now, the bottle itself, catches the eye for sure. It's got some cool designs. Ooh. Now, they redesigned the bottle, was a big part of that, rebranded it from Dr. McGillicuddy's now into Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey. They also have this interesting design on it, right? So that changed a lot. Now, they didn't have a huge advertising budget, so they had to make use of what they had. Word of mouth was big, as well as going into bars and getting bartenders to start using this. Using it as a shot, and also using it in interesting cocktails. That's what really helped this grow. They also had a big social media game. They had a hashtag. It was called Fireball Around the World. And people would drink it around the world, post about it, and that kind of grew it. As well as they got some terminology going like slaying. So if you're going slaying tonight, it means that you're going to get on Fireball. As well as they had a lot of merch. So they had branded stuff like t-shirts, they had thongs, they had an app. They had an app called Dragons, Dice, and Dares, which is kind of like just a truth or dare type of app, but revolving around this. So they were really doing anything they could to try to raise awareness and grow their brand. They even had Chris Pratt drinking it recently in a GQ video where he gets drunk and tells you how to act. It's a really bad video in my opinion.
I took a lot of shots of Fireball whiskey.
But it still helps raise awareness for the brand, and that was all part of Jurassic World, which again is a bad movie, so it goes hand in hand. When you smell it, you instantly get cinnamon and sweet, and here we go. can definitely taste sweetness. A lot of sweet with that peppery sort of cinnamon flavor in the back. I mean, it's pretty crazy how they even get cinnamon into here. I mean, it comes from like bark, so I don't know how you make it sweet or just plain hot, but there it is. You can't really taste much of the whiskey. There's a hint of it, but mostly it's just sweet and cinnamon, and that's what's hitting you. If you like sweet or you like cinnamon, then you're actually really gonna like this. Now, a lot of times I talk about pairing it, what to pair it with. In terms of food, I would say McDonald's or Burger King, or maybe you want to bring it to a fancy event. I don't know, maybe that's your style. Maybe you prefer this to a single malt whiskey, but it's definitely interesting. And if you want to get drunk, this will work. It's at 33% alcohol, so you'll feel it. I feel it a little bit. Definitely fiery. I could see myself drinking this at I went to a Buffalo Bills game, and it was pretty cold outside, so I think this would be perfect for that. Sitting outside, tailgating with your buddies. So, thank you so much for watching. This has been my review of Fireball Whiskey. Please tell me what you think of the video. Leave a comment or message me on Twitter or something. I'm known as Gingerheat online. And if you want me to review anything else, you can just write it. I'll definitely read it. We don't get a lot of comments, so I'll read them and definitely consider it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.